This episode of the New Medical Nomads podcast is brought to you by Nomadicare. Now, personally, I love Nomadicare. I've used Nomadicare, and I recommend the company to all new travelers. What Nomadicare does is it takes the fear out of getting set up with a bad recruiter, which is the biggest fear that you have jumping into this journey. So they sit down, they interview recruiters, they vet them, get them on a list, and then provide them to you as a free service, as a free recruiter matchmaking service in order to get you started on your journey. Now, usually you only get 2 recruiters going through Nomadicare, but being a listener of the show, you can get 3. So this is how it's going to work. You go to nomadicare.com/Dylan. You will get set up with 3 recruiters to be on your dream team, as well as a guide to get you started on your journey.
Hey Nomads, Dylan coming at you from San Jose, California. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the New Medical Nomads podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Dylan Collier, and today we are talking about the importance of voting and something really cool that I just found out literally maybe an hour ago, and I wanted to bring that to you guys about voting. And this is probably going to be the quickest episode in the history of podcasts because it was a really quick process in order for me to do this. So on the fly, I just decided to come on. It's about 8:30 p.m. right now, so late night episode coming at you with the radio DJ voice. But what I find out is that before I had tried to vote, last time I was home, I had to think ahead, and it was like 6 to 8 months in advance. I had to register in order to become an absentee voter. So I had to walk into the office, sign some papers. They got me in the system, and then I knew the address that I was going to be at. I requested it. I actually just put my home address. They sent it to home. They sent it to me. I was able to fill it out, get it back in, and get my vote in. That matters very, very importantly. Now, you don't have to be there in person. There are two websites that I found that you can do online that work in all 50 states. And from what I believe, this works for everywhere. So you can absolutely use this in order to get your vote in. Right now we're getting ready for national elections with the Senate seats, very important. And just a quick caveat, you know, the national elections are important. The state elections are important. But really the smaller that the election is between national to state to county, the county ones are the ones that are most important and will impact you the most. It's also what is called a grassroots movement, where you focus on the local elections. So being a team member of the Advocacy Committee of the American Physical Therapy Association when I was a student, I really got to see the backside and all these political kind of parts that play into the professions. And looking at the big national election, your vote still matters. It is very important, and you need to get your voice out there. But if you compare that to everyone who's voting, it is a smaller percentage than looking at your state election. So your state election, you have X amount of people. It is a higher percentage. It will have a bigger impact on the population. Going to counties, it's even smaller. Now your vote really matters at those small elections. Very, very important. Get your voice out there. If you are trying to make this a better world, this political system better, these legal systems better, we need your voice. Get it out there, vote. It absolutely matters. And if you are listening to this, it is about crunch time in order to vote for the upcoming elections. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. If you go to vote.gop, that is one website. That is the one I actually found on Facebook. It popped up on Facebook. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder how quick this was. I clicked on it. It took me 5 minutes to fill out. It asked for your name, asked for your email, asked for your number. You submit it. It asks for your permanent address or your wherever you're staying back home. You fill out all that information, and they send it to your county. And now the county is going to send all the information that I need back to me, and so that I can vote. Now, .gop means that it's run by the Republican Party. That is not a reflection of my votes, but you don't have to be a Republican member or in order to use that website. Now, there is also vote.org. I did not use this, but this one was on the front said 2 minutes tops. And I've had persons who've used this and it was super quick. So that is one less barrier now for us to vote while we're on the roads. And it's very, very important to vote. And that's super exciting now that you don't have to think 6 months in advance, like, oh, I wonder if there's a vote this year. So I'm super excited about that. Something to remember, because there is one less barrier, this is not something that you can do last minute. And that's why it is crunch time right now. So for me, in order for me to vote, I went to my county website, I searched my county and searched absentee voter registration. All the information that I needed in order for me to be an absentee voter was there. I applied through this, but my vote has to be in the week prior to the elections, so before the elections at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. And so every county will have their own special rules. It might be the same day, it might be ahead of time, but most of the time it's going to be ahead of time, and so you have to get your vote in early. Something else to consider, this is these websites allow you to request for the application in order to be an absentee voter. The county will get this. They will send out the piece of paper that they need you to fill out in order to be an absentee voter. Not every county, not every state will do this, but my state will. So they will send out the information that I need to fill out in order to be an absentee voter. I will fill that out. I will put it in the mail. I will send it back to them. Once they get it, then they look over it. They say, yep, you're good to go. You're good to be an absentee voter. They will send the ballot to me. I fill out the ballot, send it back to them, and it has to be there before 5 p.m. on Wednesday, the week before the elections. So that is why it is crunch time now. If you are listening to this, go to vote.org, go to vote.gop, whichever vote.org seems to be quicker. I'd probably use that one. Use that one, get the absentee vote, get the ballot, send it in time. And so you'll have to look up that information in order to make sure that you are timely and that your vote counts. So they're not doing this all for naught, and that your voice gets out there. So it is very important. And this is one less barrier. So I was very excited to bring this to you guys. I was super excited to find this out. But if you guys are listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, or if you're watching on YouTube, this episode has been very, very short, and I appreciate you so much for your listening. But any type of engagement, comments, likes, hearts, reviews, anything like that will allow more people to see this and help more people out, which is the ultimate goal of this podcast. So thank you so much. And if you're looking for the next official launch of the show, you can find it at New Medical Nomads Podcast on Facebook. The early access to the show you can follow on iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube. Hitting the subscribe button, you will get it up to a week earlier than the rest of the listeners, earlier than the rest of the individuals. And for all you nomads, voting is very important. Get your voice out there. Can't say it enough. Be vocal, change the world, and all you nomads have safe travels.